Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today I am joined by Grace. Welcome back to the show, Grace. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really happy to be back. It's always a pleasure.
I am so glad you're back because we decided, didn't we, between us, we're going to have kind of a tough conversation in a way.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. For those of you who are not initiated into the ancient lineage of King Solomon in the Modern Mystery School. There are we're a path of initiation, and we have the opportunity with initiation to face our ego, and that's ultimately what we do with the adept initiation, and that's empower thyself. And then we go on to Healers Academy, and it's through service that we start to see ourselves, so that's the second step, initiation, and we're life activating and all that light's coming in and we're seeing ourselves. And then a small amount of people, a handful of people, have a calling to join a path called the Ritual Master Path, and this is a ceremonial path. It's the path of the warrior. And this is also a path of initiation, and it takes great courage because we go on a personal journey. It is very personal, and the ultimate goal is to be of service to humanity. That's the ultimate goal. Just to give a quick overview, and so Grace here is on that path, and coming from a corporate lawyer background, came to the mystery school. You've probably seen her interview before, so go and have a look if not, to get her. But we were just talking, and why, number one, why did you choose to go and walk the Ritual Master Path? Because it's not mandatory. It's not like something you have to do. It's a choice. Why did you do that? And then what do you see as the benefits, or what value has it added to your life? I don't know if these are the right words, but if you can share.
What you said earlier was what drew me to the path, right? It was a deep calling. It's not altogether logical, but it was something that came within the depths of my heart that this was what I was supposed to do. And that it's been a very rewarding path. It's difficult. And there have been times, I won't lie, where I'm like, why did I do this? This was a really bad decision, Grace. Can I just go back and not do it? But that never lasts, right? After I processed those feelings, it was just because I was going through a hard time. And in life, everything that is rewarding is hard. It's you only really understand, let's just say, happiness if you've experienced sadness, right? So it's almost like just a different side of the same coin. And I think the path for me has been like that, right? I wanted to believe in a world where everything was just very nice. Everyone was nice all the time. Everyone was kind all the time. We only have, cotton candy and but it's not like that. But it doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that you're polishing the diamond. It means that it is only when you've gone through the hard time and walked through the fire that you can really serve, that you can really be there for humanity because you understand what it is. And a large part of of the path, even though it's imagery about, fighting and swords, but actually the biggest part is fighting yourself, for me at least. And you're always this close to your negative ego, and sometimes it really isn't nice because I have to see all the things that I don't like about myself, and sometimes I learn new things. But you can either at any given time choose to go, oh, I'm just bad, let's just not try. Or you can be, this is an opportunity, I can do better. it's very logical which is the better choice. Which serves you more is obviously that you learn something. But then the negative ego will be like, I'm just going to sit there and feel bad about myself. But really, how does that serve you? And how does that serve the people around you? So I think for me, the biggest thing is to be okay with the fact that I will make mistakes and I make mistakes all the time and to be okay with it and to trust that I can come back from those mistakes, that I can be better, and to trust that the community around me isn't judging me for it. Because in the end, it's because I'm judging myself. And everybody else is just reflecting that judgment that I'm doing unto myself. But if I just took a step back and go, okay, no drama, I've made a mistake. There are very few things in life that are not fixable. Sometimes there are, but there are very few things that are. It's just all that drama that you bring onto yourself that, oh God, it's the end of the world. I've made this mistake. And that's certainly something that I'm currently still going through, but it's been very clear to me. So it's actually really good timing that we're having this conversation today.
Yeah. It's really interesting, isn't it? Because it is a very personal, individual path, and that's often why we don't talk about the ritual master path. It's not because we're hiding any great secrets. It's because the mystery is you, and you're on the journey to solving that mystery. And like you said, for you, making mistakes is one of the things that perhaps the subconscious has been the negative ego has taken hold of and kind of beaten you with that naughty stick and said, oh, you've made all these mistakes, that's it, you're not a very good
Done.
person and you're not very nice and da, 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 da. All these different types of things. I mean, it could be anything, I
Yeah.
mean, we're just talking about one thing, but that normally sits in the subconscious mind, and it's not always present, and you don't always know that that's going on. And so this creates these patterns in our life where we become afraid to step forward and do anything because we're afraid of making the mistakes. I'm just trying to kind of outline it, how it would look in a practical sense, but we don't know that, and so therefore we don't take the chances and we don't make the relationships that we want to make, and all these different types of choices are then changed because the negative ego is in the driving seat. And here we are on the path of initiation, the ritual master path, and these great big whopping spotlights are like, oh, here you go. That's where your issue is. That's where your challenge is. And then we have a choice, like you said, to do something about it. Now, here's the thing, it sounds all very easy, but in truth, it is not easy. It is not easy. And this is why it's called the warrior path, because you have to have courage and you have to be able to find the strength and the grit and the determination to face that thing and go, no, you are not in control of my world, my life. I will not allow it. And that is what we go through, but do you have any examples of or kind of things that you have faced on the ritual master path that you have then overcome through that grit and determination, and what does it feel like on the other side?
Um, okay, I'll give you a current example.
Mm.
I'm nearly at the other side. Not quite, but I will get there because it's that grit. I will get there. Um, it's basically facing a lot of ingrained patterns within myself that I never, first of all, I was not aware of. And secondly, when I became aware of, I didn't want to accept that were there. Um, one of it was the mistakes thing, where I felt what has brought up for me was not just a mistake, was my inability to trust that I can recover from a mistake. It's not even the mistake in itself. Is that I don't trust myself enough to be able to recover from that. And secondly, I don't trust the people around me to be able to give me the grace to forgive myself. And that was because I come across as quite an extroverted person. But then to realize that I actually have this fear about the people around me was a very big one for me. And ultimately, it's about trust and about faith. And I'm saying to myself the same thing that you've said, no. this fear will not rule my life. And if someone doesn't want to forgive me, well, I have to forgive myself and move forward anyway. So that's the piece I'm facing right now. Kind of nearly there, not quite, but I will get there.
Yeah, and my goodness, your world will completely change, you know? It completely change, and you will then have that love and trust all around you, and what a wonderful feeling, you know, when you yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing these deep insights, because I think outside in the world, when we talk about the ritual master path or indeed the mystery school, people can jump to a lot of conclusions and say that we're weird, and you know, that we do weird things. I don't know. It's
We're weird, but it's a good weird.
yeah, I mean, I suppose we're weird in the sense that we're wanting to face, you know, those deepest, darkest things within us that are preventing us from being a better person. I guess it's, you know, it's, you know, it is a different path, but I hope that this conversation will help others to understand um, the joy that actually comes from being a ritual master. You know, is that overcoming, because we climb the biggest mountains. You know, we become really good mountaineers, and we get the best views once we've climbed that mountain. You know, in our own life, I'm talking about the best views in our own life.
I I just I I just wanted to say, the path will help you to really, really believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, you have to trust yourself. And and that's at least for me, what has been what I'm continuing to battle through. And of course, it's when people depict warriors, it's always like, oh, I'm fighting something external. It's not so sexy to fight yourself. But actually it is. Because when you confront the enemy within, there's no enemy outside that you can't confront. And it builds trust with yourself as well. It is hard though. I just want to say.
Oh, I love that what you just said. You know, if you can command thyself, then there isn't any enemy outside of us that we cannot
Mm,
uh, defeat.
confront. Yeah.
You know, whether that's fear or anger, or you know, we're not talking about people in itself. It's, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the, you know, the things that get thrown at us in life, just to outline in
Yes,
case
yes,
anyone.
yes. Just for the avoidance of doubt. Yes, I
Yes, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. I know it's only a short snippet into one's personal experience of Ritual Master, but I'm sure we're going to chat again. I'd love to hear from you when you're completely on the other side of this huge breakthrough, and maybe you'll be willing to share some of the ways that it's then kind of transformed your world. You know, that would be very interesting.
I'm also interested.
A before and after. We do a
Yeah,
before and after video.
yeah.
That would be great. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you. Thank you for
Always a
taking the
pleasure.
time. Thank you for taking time. And if you're interested in joining the Ritual Master path and initiation, then we will be hosting a Ritual Master Novice in October in London. And, you know, you do have to attend Healers Academy first of all. But for those of you that have Healers Academy, you are welcome to apply. Applications are now being accepted. So give your guide a call, or get in touch with me, and I'll help you. So thanks so much. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night, everyone.